Now, I always love when the liars in the media try to pretend exactly the opposite is true, that they live in this alternative universe with a Jedi mind trick. We never called Trump Hitler. Well, guess what? You did, and we have the tape to prove it.
What I know is in the early days of the Nazi regime, they started slowly but surely taking away people's rights. And what we're seeing now is the very same thing.
A unified Reich? That's Hitler's language. That's not America's.
It is deeply troubling and incredibly dangerous that Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler.
Talks about the blood of America as being poisoned, echoing the same exact language used in Nazi Germany.
Beginning to see what happened in Germany back in the 1930s. I never thought that could happen in this country. How do you elect a person president, then all of a sudden give him the authority to be dictator?
Hitler used immigration and racism as their base, and that is what Trump has done. He's Hitler-esque.
It's amazing to me. So the best I can figure, if I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, is that they're trying to rely on the fact that no one really said Trump is Hitler. They did, by the way, they did that too. But maybe that's their defense. I didn't say the words, Trump is Hitler. He's the modern day Hitler. There's 10,000 sound bites of them saying, you know who else did what Trump is doing? Adolf Hitler. I never understood how the Germans could go along with Adolf Hitler until I saw MAGA and the way they taken Trump. Like endless comments like that. It's irrelevant. What does Trump actually is the physical embodiment of Hitler even mean? Of course, nobody's really saying that, although we did find a few. But like, of course, that's not the point. That's an impossible thing to do. You can't reincarnate as President Trump. I mean, I suppose like maybe some Hindus believe that, but very few others. So, of course, the point is simply you have constantly compared Trump to Hitler, which, by the way, is a big deal. Up until Trump, that was a hard no in American conversation. I don't know how it is around the rest of the world, but in American conversation, it's a hard no to compare anything to the Holocaust or anyone to Hitler, because he was, of course, uniquely evil. In a long history of very evil people, he managed to stand out. So even if you're like, I remember even a couple of years ago, we were looking at the Chinese and the genocide against the Uyghurs and the forced sterilization. And we had this long debate on whether you could compare it to what the Nazis did. And in the end, it was like, nope, you can't. You just can't compare anything to Adolf Hitler. But the left has run rampant with it in the Trump era, very loose standards, and comparing virtually everything Trump does to that of Adolf Hitler. So the fact that they just want to whitewash it now and hope that we've forgotten is just kind of laughable. And like, not only, Nicole Wallace was the one who really went out on a limb of MSNBC saying this. And not only did she have multiple people on her show say it, she said it. She's like, I don't remember anybody on Team Democrat ever saying it. No, you literally said it. And you had multiple guests on your show who said it. So I don't know if she's got like early Alzheimer's or if she's just a liar. But either way, it's not so good for engendering trust with one's audience.
Last one, Halloween. I'm doing my first one because my girls are at just the right age to go trick-or-treating. Do you have any tips for my first Halloween?
Yes, I have strong feelings on Halloween and the protocol that should surround it. This is my number one pet peeve. You got to tell your daughters this. When the kids they ring the doorbell, you show up, you got your enormous thing of candy, and they just stick their bag out. And I am that woman. I'm like, what do you say? And then occasionally you get like, please, or you'll get thank you. And then I'll be like, no, no, try again. It's a very simple social contract. They have to say trick or treat. And then I give candy. That's the basic covenant there. Now, there's another wrinkle. Depending on the neighborhood you're in, you'll get the kids who say, how many can I take? Right? You should not ask that question. You should just take one. Take one unless the homeowner says, take two or take as many as you can grab. Sometimes at the end of the night, you're running out of candy or you have too much candy and the night is trickling down. You just want to get rid of it. But it's not okay to say like, how many can I assume the answer is one unless the homeowner says, take more than one. And then there is the final piece of the transaction in which the child is supposed to say, thank you. And then ideally the homeowner says either you're welcome or happy Halloween or some nice comment on the child's costume. These are the basic contractual terms, and the parents who do not clearly instruct their children accordingly have failed us all.
Thank you, Rockstar. I will bring the photos. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you, Paul.